Hi, boys and girls. So you just finished practicing representing numbers in different forms. Right now, we're going to focus on expanded notation. Now, you learned about expanded notation yesterday, and today we're just going to build a little bit more on that. So I have here the number 6,732, and I represented that in expanded notation. So I have 6 times 1,000, 7 times 100, 3 times 10, and 2 times 1. So how exactly do we know that this is the expanded notation for 6,732? Well, on the next few slides, we're going to learn about how we figure out how to model and how to represent each number in expanded notation. So to start off, I'd like to go over something you learned in second grade. Now, in second grade, we learned about groups of. So we did a lot of multiplication problems using groups of. Well, whenever we talk about groups of, we're talking about basically that many times whatever number we have. So we use our multiplication symbol to represent groups of. So if you look at our model, we have 3 groups, and each group has 5 hearts inside of it. So we have 3 groups of 5. So I'm going to fill in my sentence stem, 3 groups of 5. So how can I model that using my multiplication symbol? Well, I would have 3 times 5. Okay, I want you to think of it this way. Anytime you see this multiplication symbol, you're going to say groups of in your head. So you're going to say 3 groups of 5. Okay, so let's take that knowledge and transfer it over here to our base 10 blocks. So we have 4 base 10 blocks, okay, and they are 10s. So that means that my first one has a value of 10, the next one has a value of 10, the next one has a value of 10, and the last one has a value of 10. So we actually have 4 groups of 10. So we have 4 groups of 10. So we could also represent that using 4 times 10. Because remember, anytime you see groups of, we're going to use our multiplication symbol for that. So you have 4 times the number 10. 10, 20, 30, 40. So 4 times 10 would be 40. So we're going to take all of this and practice representing numbers in expanded notation. So let's go to our next slide. So I have here the number 3,654, and I would like for us to show it in expanded notation. Well, the first thing I need to do is make sure I know the place value for each digit in that number. So I have a 3, and that's representing the thousands. So I have 3,000s. I have 6 hundreds. I have 5 tens, and I have 4 ones. So I just put my number in standard form in my place value chart. Now I would like to model that using my base 10 blocks. So I have 3,000s. That means I'm going to need 3,000. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. So I have 3,000s right there. Then I'm going to need 600s. So I'm going to bring over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I'm going to do my tens, and I'm going to need 5 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I need 4 ones. So I'm going to go 1, Oops, that one got big. Let's see, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just represented my number in model form. Okay, so I'm going to use my model to help me represent my number in expanded notation. So I'm going to start off with my thousands. Well, I have here 1,000. I have here another 1,000. I have here another 1,000. So I have 3 groups of 1,000. So I'm going to write 3 groups of 1,000. And then I'm going to put my addition symbol between my thousands and my hundreds. Now I have 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, and 100. So I have 6 groups of 100. I have 5 tens, so I have 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So I have 5 groups of 10. So I'm going to do 5 times 10, 5 groups of 10. And then finally, we're going to come to my ones, and I have 4 ones, and each one has a value of 1. So I have 4 times 1. That is how we represent 3,654 in expanded notation. So let's go on to our next example. Now, friends, for my next example, I have here 2,470. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I put it in my place value chart. So I have 2,000s, 400s, 7 tens, and 0 ones. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to model how that would look with my base 10 blocks. So I have 2,000s, so I'm going to bring over my 2,000s. Then I'm going to bring over my 400s. And then I'm going to bring over my 7 tens. Four, 5, 6, 7. And then I don't have any ones, so I don't need to put any 1 space 10 blocks on there. Okay, so now we're going to take my model, and for my model, we're going to go ahead and represent our number in expanded notation. Well, let's start with our thousands. So I have 2,000s. That means I have 2 groups of 1,000. Okay, now let's move on to our hundreds. I have 100, 100, 100, 100. That means I have 4 groups of 100. And then we have 7 tens. So that means I have 7 groups of 10. I do not have any ones, so I don't need to put anything else on my number sentence. So 2,470 represented in expanded notation is 2 times 1,000, 4 times 100, and 7 times 10. Now we are going to represent 1,389 in expanded notation. But notice this time I do not have any base 10 blocks. So we're going to try and represent this number in expanded notation without using the aid of my base 10 blocks. So the first thing I need to do is I need to make sure I know the value of each digit. So I have 1,000, I have 3 hundreds, I have 8 tens, and I have 9 ones. So there is my number 1,389. So to represent this in expanded notation, I need to think, okay, so I have 1,000. So that means I have 1 times 1,000. I have 1 group of 1,000. Okay. I have 3 hundreds. So that means I have 3 groups of 100. And then I have 8 tens, so that means I have 8 groups of 10. And then I have 9 ones, that means I have 9 groups of 1. And there is the number 1,389 represented in expanded form. It's 1 times 1,000 plus 3 times 100 plus 8 times 10 plus 9 times 1. To take it a step further, friends, that means I have 1,000, 3 times 100 is 300, 8 times 10, which is 8 groups of 10, is 80, 9 groups of 1 is 9, so I have the number 1,389. So friends, I hope you enjoy our lesson. On the next slide, you're going to practice writing numbers in expanded notation. And then there's going to be a self-check slide. And after that, you're going to have a quiz for expanded notation. Please make sure you complete your quiz so you can get your grade for it. Have a great day, friends.